Hello and welcome. Today we're examining one of Russia's most secure prisons, the White Swan Correctional Facility. The White Swan is a maximum security penal colony for prisoners serving life sentences. The facility is located in Solikamsk, Perm Krai. 564 people work at the institution. The prison grounds include a specialized workshop in the basement, where approximately 700 master woodworkers are employed. The facility operates with a degree of self-sufficiency. Meat, vegetables, and poultry are produced on site. There's also a greenhouse on the grounds, where herbs, cucumbers, and other produce are grown. Cultural programs exist as well. A nearby women's prison occasionally sends a theatrical troupe to perform for the inmates. At the center of the facility stands a small Orthodox church, built by the prisoners themselves. A priest from Solikamsk consecrated the icons and the church itself. He visits the White Swan prison on all major Orthodox holidays to conduct services, teach prayer, perform baptisms, and celebrate the liturgy. The name White Swan is unofficial. There are several theories about its origin. According to one version, it comes from the way prisoners must move around the facility. They walk bent over at nearly 90 degrees with their hands clasped behind their backs. This posture is called the swan pose. The second theory relates to sculptures of swans that are found throughout the grounds. Above the entrance to the administrative building, where newly arrived prisoners stand facing the wall behind bars, there are swan sculptures. Even the trash cans are designed to look like these birds. Both explanations seem plausible and adequately account for the facility's unofficial name. This correctional institution began operating in 1938. At that time, it primarily held political prisoners, mostly clergy. In 1955, these inmates were transferred to a facility in Mordovia. From that point forward, we can speak specifically about the White Swan prison as we know it today. Starting in 1980, a special unit operated on the grounds. In this single cell block facility, thieves in law, vory v zakone, members of Russian organized crime, from various parts of the Soviet Union were held. In total, approximately 4,500 inmates passed through this unit. About 130 crowned criminals served time within these walls. Since 1999, the White Swan has been designated as a prison for life-sentenced inmates. No major structural changes were made to the buildings. From the beginning, the facility was constructed with the understanding that escape would be impossible and that any contact with the outside world would be prevented. According to statistics, each prisoner serving time at the colony has, on average, 3 victims. Typically, after 10 years of imprisonment at the facility, inmates may be transferred to less restrictive conditions. They are then allowed to receive letters from home and have visits with relatives. The White Swan operates according to international standards. 3 inmates are housed per cell. Cell assignments are made primarily based on each person's psychological profile. Professional psychologists conduct preliminary evaluations for this purpose. Inmates are allowed to shower once per week. Daily exercise is permitted for 1 hour. Prisoners are taken to exercise areas located on the roof of the building. During the first years of confinement at the colony, inmates are prohibited from studying or working. Prisoners remain under close supervision by facility staff, though self-education is not forbidden. The White Swan colony maintains its own library. Additionally, many inmates become religious, accepting baptism and Orthodox faith. The facility houses individuals convicted of especially serious crimes, leaders of organized criminal groups, members of armed gangs, rapists, and murderers sentenced to life imprisonment. They are held under maximum security conditions. Convicted serial killers serve their sentences in 2 cell blocks of the aforementioned special unit, where thieves in law were previously held. Each block has file cards for every 2 cells containing brief biographies of the inmates, along with their charges and photographs. The prison regime is considered one of the strictest among all such institutions. For example, when a guard opens the peephole in a heavy cell door, all inmates outside their cells must immediately stand up and face the wall with their legs spread apart and their hands pressed against the wall, palms facing outward. They must remain in this position until the peephole is closed. When an inmate dies, if they have relatives on the outside, a telegram notification is sent. The relatives have 3 days to claim the body or send confirmation that they will arrange for burial. If this is not done, the deceased is buried in the city cemetery. Relatives may, however, later exhume and rebury the body. Some inmates cannot endure the harsh conditions of the colony. The prison's history includes cases of suicide and deaths under unclear circumstances. Elderly and ill inmates typically behave quietly and calmly, simply waiting for death. Since the death penalty has not been formally abolished in the Russian Federation, though a moratorium is in place, life imprisonment remains the only way to isolate especially dangerous criminals. Various types of criminal offenders end up in maximum security colonies. Today, the White Swan prison holds some Chechen warlords, thieves in law, brutal murderers, and rapists, all those who pose a real threat to society. It is currently believed that escape from the White Swan is impossible. The prison grounds are surrounded by substantial barriers, barbed wire, and imposing fences measuring approximately 16 feet, 5 meters in height. Additionally, the prison's security service has more than 50 trained dogs. Staff also have special equipment ready for use in extreme situations. Surveillance cameras are installed around the entire perimeter. Security monitors all objects and individuals within the colony. Thanks to modern equipment, staff can observe the entire facility grounds. Currently, approximately 300 life-sentenced prisoners are held at the facility. Given the severity of the regime, the only option available to them is to accept their circumstances and await their final day. The White Swan stands as a reminder of the consequences that follow society's most serious crimes. These walls protect communities from individuals who pose a genuine threat. Life imprisonment remains the only way to isolate the most dangerous offenders. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you found this video informative. Thank you for watching.